In recent years, Nigeria has faced repeated severe flooding, with the events of 2022 and 2024 causing widespread devastation. These floods have displaced millions, destroyed homes, and left communities grappling with recovery efforts. The 2022 floods were among the worst in the country's history, affecting 33 out of 36 states. Bayelsa, Anambra, Kogi, and Benue were particularly hard hit, with over 1.3 million people affected in Bayelsa alone, where 300 communities were submerged and 96 lives lost. In total, the floods led to 600 deaths, displaced 1.4 million people, and destroyed over 200,000 homes, leaving communities struggling to recover. Barely 2 years later, Nigeria is struck by another round of devastating floods from August 8 to August 13, 2024, affecting Bauchi, Sokoto, Zamfara, and most recently, Borno State on September 10th. In Bauchi State, over 1,000 homes were destroyed, displacing thousands in Giade, Shira, and Katangum local government areas. Sokoto State faced severe flooding on July 17th, displacing at least 1,664 people and damaging farmlands and livestock in the Gada local government area. Zamfara State saw around 2,000 households made homeless, especially in Talata Mafara local government area. Meanwhile, in Maiduguri and other parts of Borno State, the floods have worsened food insecurity, with over 90% of crop farming households and 76% of livestock farmers severely affected, raising concerns about the nation's food supply.
We are here at the directive of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to commiserate with the government and people of Borno State, most especially His Excellency the Governor and Your Eminence the Father of the State, over the very catastrophic flooding incident this morning that devastated a greater chunk of Maiduguri metropolis.
In the face of these disasters, the government has been scrambling to deploy measures in an effort to stem the tides of pain and hardships attendant with these flood events. With the recent disasters, the question may arise about whether the government is really doing enough. The Nigerian government, working alongside humanitarian organizations like UNICEF, has ramped up emergency relief efforts. These efforts include distributing cholera prevention kits, providing cash transfers, and delivering clean water to affected families. While emergency relief is crucial, it is also vital that the government sets in motion plans and strategies to prevent future disasters. Recovery efforts as of October 2022 were still ongoing, but the need for long-term solutions remains urgent. The recurring nature of these floods shows the critical importance of improving disaster preparedness, infrastructure development, and flood management systems. It is clear that the government needs to prioritize long-term solutions such as climate adaptation, sustainable infrastructure, and improved urban planning. The 2022 and 2024 floods have highlighted the vulnerabilities in flood-prone areas. But what specific actions is the government taking to better protect these regions? Is there a genuine commitment to enhancing drainage systems and strengthening river banks to reduce future risks? rather than relying solely on temporary relief materials or shelters to address the aftermath. Communities in flood-prone areas are not left out in these analyses. They must take an active role in flood preparedness. The Nigerian Meteorological Agency (NIMET) consistently issues warnings about potential floods, but the local authorities and residents truly responding to these alerts? Many residents in such areas argue that these are their ancestral homes and living will disrupt their livelihoods with no alternative places to go. A native from Kogi State asserted that they would only leave temporarily to return to their base after the rainy season. This has been attributed to the fact that the government has not provided permanent places of residence for the displaced individuals. The government is said to have failed to put flood retaining and protection infrastructure in place to stem mishaps like these. Community leaders must collaborate with disaster management authorities to develop and implement effective response plans. Residents in high-risk zones should be proactive, evacuating to safer places when warnings are given. Staying informed through NIMET updates and preparing ahead of time can greatly reduce the impact of flooding. As extreme weather events fueled by climate change, heavy rainfall, and inadequate infrastructure continue to affect Nigeria and other countries like India, Bangladesh, and Pakistan, the urgency for flood preparedness has become more apparent. Both the Nigerian government and local communities are being urged to take immediate action to safeguard vulnerable areas and mitigate the impact of these recurring disasters.